Okay, so let's, now that we looked at all of the indexed orientations that we're going to be showing you, we're going to go right into the demo. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with the 3-axis instancing, and we're going to look at the guitar body. So for this part, you can machine this. It's a 2-sided, so you got to machine both sides, but you also can machine this either in the standard configuration, which is a little bit more difficult and a little bit more complex, or you can machine it in the professional configuration, which allows you to machine all of it, both sides, in one file. What we're showing you here is the professional configuration. So what we're doing the top. Let's turn the toolpath on. So we're doing the top in the standard orientation, which is setup 1 that you see in all configurations when you open a file or start a new file. The setup 1 is considered to be your fixed 3-axis orientation. And we're doing the facing, we're doing some roughing, pocketing, more pocketing, profiling, finishing, etc. Okay. And then we have some additional operations that are only available in the professional configuration that we're going to use to have more control over the tool for machining the rest of these areas. We have a contoured area there that we're machining with a 3D offset pocketing operation, 3D offset profiling. Look at that beautiful toolpath. In the profiling, it goes by the edge perimeter, and it machines down the side. It considers this to be a profile, and it machines down the side in a constant step over. That's a really nice toolpath. And also, I'm going to mention this because this is one of my favorite enhancements. We actually added contact positioning control for your machining. So what we're doing, the toolpath is actually automatically stopping when the tool touches this perimeter at the bottom. So in previous versions, we had to do some additional steps to get that tool to stop at that location. But now you don't have to do that. It stops automatically. It calculates where that tool is and creates this really nice toolpath. So, and then we have some additional horizontal roughing and re-roughing, re-roughing to get more material out. And what's interesting about this is you may initially start programming this in 2 axes. We got pockets, you got maybe some facing, but the interesting thing about roughing and re-roughing is you can machine all of this in one or 2 operations. You don't have to break this up into separate pockets. Horizontal roughing and re-roughing, you can use that as a roughing and then as a finishing pass to clean up these areas. So that's a real time saver. And then also we have some nice curve machining to touch up along these edges on this part. Now this is a very good part to illustrate the added operations that you have in the professional configuration. So now that's the top. If you look at the orientation, and then also let's look at, while we're doing it, let's look at the stock. Now, we did a whole webinar just a couple of months ago on flip machining, and I suggest you go back and review that, because this is the part we programmed in that webinar. But basically, for flip, there's a number of ways you can flip machine it, but the very easiest way and the most accurate way is to go ahead and model your stock that you're using with index pins in the corners that allow you to flip it over and realign it automatically. So we have setup 1. If you look here, setup 2 is oriented on the bottom. Okay. So we got a work 0 there, and we got a work 0 there. You'll see that it's in the same position. So whenever you lock it in, fixture it into place with pins, just 2 of them, and then you rotate it over, and it's aligned automatically with the same setup in that corner. perfect alignment. It'll come out perfect every time. You don't have to think about where's the center line of my part. I'm going to flip it over manually. It just runs into all kinds of can of worms that you get, and it can get complex very, very quickly, trying to figure out, did my part move? It's not oriented right, etc. Trying to debug that. Do it like this and it'll automatically work every time, automatically. So this is what we're calling 3-axis index. We're calling it index with quotes because it's indexed automatically. Index 1 is automatic when you first put it on your table. Index 2 is you're picking up and rotating it over and machining the bottom.